right? But I don't want that to be. What's up, everybody, man? We're back with a third season of the Bevy Spot podcast, man. And tonight we got something special going. We got a new concept that we're rolling out. Combos and Cocktails. You heard it. Combos and Cocktails. So we're doing something dope, man. Want y'all to come check us out. Tonight we're right here at Empire State Jazz Cafe, man. They got food specials. They got drink specials. It's going down. It's a grown-up, sexy vibe. You got to come see this place. Come see the space. Y'all know what it is, man. This is Bevy Spot Podcast. Salute.
A lot of names. I don't care what you call me. Just call me. I am that guy, man. And you know what we actually doing here today. What brings you all here? I'm glad you all are in the building, man. It's such a beautiful crowd, beautiful audience. This is kind of what we expected. You know, we wanted to do something new and something different. So we're looking to have an open forum, a discussion. Want to share different spaces and different places with each and every one of you guys, so we can have different experiences. Because that's what that whole group is about. It's a Houston Eat and Meet. So that's what we do. If you're not a part of the group, again, if you didn't hear me earlier, please get on Facebook and join the group, Houston Eat and Meet. We'll make sure that you guys get in. I know we got some people here that are, you know, huge contributors to the platform. So glad to have y'all. You know, we were going to do this about 2 weeks ago, and we were going to do it during Juneteenth. Unfortunately, we got stormed out. On us. You know what I mean? The rain said, hey, not today, or y'all going to learn today, whatever y'all want to say. You know, that's what we did. But I'm sitting here with the owner of this beautiful establishment, Empire State Jazz Cafe, my man, Mr. Vic Alatay, man.
What's up, good people? Thank you all for coming out. We got a lot of different stuff going on throughout the week, mainly Friday through Sunday. Friday, we got Feel Good Fridays, live jazz from all over the country. A lot of incredible artists, Billboard artists that you hear if you listen to Smooth Jazz 66. Saturday night, same thing. So just come on out and support us. Great food, great drinks, great adult atmosphere, free parking.
See, he ain't let me do my job, bro. Like, we can't get to it in the questions? Like he like going right in. Listen, let me tell you what we doing. This is what we doing. All right, this is what we got. Y'all come through. Nah, that's what's up, man. No, so Vic, man, you know, the Bevy Spot podcast is kind of what we do, y'all. So we go to different venues and we interview the owners, management, what have you, and we let them tell their stories. So Vic was actually one of our first ones that we did in our first season. But coming back, now we're here in a new space, in a new way, with a twist. So having a live audience, this is really dope. So having y'all engaged, man, this is really, really dope, really, really special for me. And I know he thrived on it because he hit me up like, hey, man, we need to do something with the group and the whole nine. And so then we put this together, man, and here we are. So glad to have y'all in the building.
Definitely a beautiful looking crowd. So yeah, that's what it is.
Absolutely.
I don't see nobody twerking, nobody on that other shit. No disrespect to that, but there's a time and a place. But
wait, it's early though. It's early.
You're right. It's early. I know Sly gonna turn up in a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Once you get the drinks in your system.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. So glad to have y'all here, man. So Vic, again, I know you just spoke a little bit about some of the stuff that you guys have going on here. Tell us a little bit about what inspired you to create? Because you actually, you know, one of the things that I don't know if everybody know here, they probably seen it on the signs outside, but you're a former NFL player, former brother, you know what I mean, former NFL brother. So, you know, we got to show love on that, you know what I mean? We do get down with it. Yeah, yes, absolutely, the brotherhood. But, you know, outside of that, man, you've been in this space for how long?
Next door, Niamin's Fusion Bistro, 6 years. Richmond location, 3 years. I just moved that to Third Ward. Landlord was playing games, decided not to renew the lease. And this space, 5 years, but it was an event space prior. Then we turned it to Empire State Jazz Cafe, which will be 2 in September.
Okay, all right. That's amazing, man. That's amazing, man. So, what after football, bro? What made you want to dive into this space?
No, I was doing this when I was playing ball. I owned nightclubs and restaurants when I was playing. Yeah, so
Okay.
like I always told all the cats, if you know me, you know what I do. All the shows with Hove and everybody else, like I always told people, you got to learn to butter your own bread. You can't depend on the league forever because NFL, not for long, you know?
Absolutely.
A lot of cats I know was making 10 times what I was making, and I was making some dough. 2 years later, them cats asking me, can they borrow money? When I was like, yo, I got this going on, I got that going on. Put in 20, I could turn that to 50 or 60, doing shows or concerts or whatever, or different business endeavors. And they were like, nah, but then Monday or Tuesday, we in a strip club, and they throw that same 20,000.
Right.
Don't ask me for nothing. I ain't got nothing for you.
Right.
Try to put you on.
So, I think you bring up an interesting topic when we talk about that, because one of the things I think a lot of people don't see or understand when it comes to pro sports is that transition that we make, right, from the game. So
It's crazy because you already know 6 o'clock in the morning, we at the stadium, got to lift weights, and we there till 7 o'clock, and most times till 8:30 doing extra film study on your own. So, and then going from such a regimented life to life after football, nobody telling you what to do. You don't have to be anywhere anytime. So it's tough. A lot of cats can't make that transition.
It's tough for a lot of guys, man. I mean, I think, in my own way, I think I struggled, even though having an entrepreneurial mindset and being ambitious, there still was those moments of struggle just because, even today watching the game, I still feel like I could get out there and go run around. You know what I mean? Like, give me 6 weeks.
I don't have time. I don't have time.
You got time. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So you got Empire State Jazz Cafe. I know you just talked about the joint you're going to be opening up in Third Ward.
Third Ward's open. Been open 2 weeks.
It's open. So what are we doing over there?
We in a Blodgett food hall. It's called Nyaman's Express. It's same menu as Nyaman's Fusion Bistro, but Third Ward being in it's in a Blodgett food hall. We just call it Express. But about 6 months, I'm opening another location in Missouri City.
Okay.
We're just going to keep pushing from there.
So you talk about a Fusion Bistro, and I want the people to understand when we say Fusion Bistro, what is the fusion? Because I will say this. So before you get started, all right, I had to shake your hand earlier, okay? I tell y'all, listen, I am a Jamaican food lover. I love some curry chicken. I love some oxtails, you know what I mean? And I've come here a number of times. I've never had the curry chicken until yesterday. I had the curry chicken. I came in here and I had to shake his hand. I said, bro, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. You doing something with that, like for real.
My man.
Yeah, so tell them about what the fusion is and what that looks like.
It's really not a true fusion. I just have 3 different cuisines under one roof. So I called it Fusion Bistro. It's a concept I came up with in 2012 when I opened my first spot at Memorial, which was La Vie Fusion Bistro. So it's Creole, soul food, and Jamaican food all under one roof, but the dishes aren't fused. It's not like Creole mixed with Jamaican. Everything is authentic and true to what it's supposed to be.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So, all right. So we here at Empire. It's a dope space, man. It's a beautiful, lovely space in the evening, man. So tell them about what they can expect. Like, what do you do here on the regular? I know you got different events, but tell them when they can come here and see. They ain't got to look at our ugly faces. They can come in here and get some live.
Speak for yourself. I'm handsome. I'm gorgeous. Speak for yourself.
That's what's happening. That's what's happening.
Follow Empire State Jazz Cafe if you're on Instagram, Facebook, Empire State Jazz Cafe, or you can go to www.empirestatejazzcafe.com and you can see all the lineups. Be sure to join our mailing list so you can stay abreast of all the different events we have coming up. And it's just a good time. Once you go to the Instagram, you'll see some of the pin reels, and that'll give you a feel of what we do here. The clientele's pretty much from like 35, 40 and up, dressed to the nines, just everybody having a good time, no drama. It's a beautiful situation.
What days typically do you have the live music?
Friday and Saturday, sometimes Sunday jazz brunch, which I'm trying to make a staple, and supper club Sundays as well.
Okay. Now, are you, in terms of black-owned jazz establishments in the city, Where do you stand in that? Like you like the only, as far as I know.
I don't know. I just do me. I don't know.
You saying you're like?
I look at the country. I never look at where I'm at. I try to look at where I am, but I know a couple of people pointed out to me that within the short 2 years I've been open, I'm in the top 10 of supper clubs, jazz supper clubs in the country. So yeah,
That's what's
we
up,
brought
man.
a lot of people here, like Adam Harley, Rebecca J, just a slew of people that are phenomenally talented with 15, 16 Billboard Smooth Jazz #1 records. So it's a good look.
That's what's up. So all y'all jazz enthusiasts, man, I've been here when they've had some live performances. It's been a dope environment. It's a dope situation. If y'all have enjoyed the food like I have, it's just more of that, and it's a good music, good live experience. So if you like live music, this is a great place to come. It's a great place. It's a different vibe. It's a different situation from the normal turn up.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna do this right here. Whoever's free this Friday, send me an email to Empire State Jazz Cafe. U+1, y'all will be on my guest list, and y'all are in absolutely free. So whoever wants to take advantage of that deal, just send me an email, EmpireStateJazzCafe.com, and I got you.
Now listen, see, y'all getting connected because you part of Houston Eating Meat. Now let's be clear, okay? All right. No, but please do that. Take them up on that offer, man. It's a dope experience. Like you're getting good food, good drinks. Continue to vibe, man. Continue to come out and support. So we want to support black businesses, and that's what we're doing, man.
Well, let's get into what we talking about.
Listen. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna get into this thing. Listen. So we're gonna talk a little bit about, we're gonna open it up. Again, all of us are gonna be on camera. We're gonna talk a little bit about community, culture, and unity. All right. So I'm gonna give y'all a few minutes. We're gonna think on that. One of the first things that I wanted to bring up in that regard, bro, in that regard is I want to ask y'all a question. Because the other part of what we're doing here, this is supposed to be a business networking event. So I would love to hear from you guys. What does it mean to stand on business? Right? You hear the term stand on business. Everybody talk about that right now, right? So
I know I've been moving around talking to some people in the building so far. We got some actresses, we got some educators. So
wait, whoa. More than that, bro. We got some geniuses in the building. We got some scientists in here.
I ain't get to meet them yet. I look forward to
listen, we got some scientists who we will have a conversation with. So Miss LaToya Campbell, we'll send back over there. Scientist and her sister,
all right,
who came with her. Her name escapes me right. Two scientists in the. I was like,
in the brain in the building.
Listen, you never know who you might meet, right? And so that's the beauty about doing what we're doing, right? It's you never know who you come across, who you may meet, engage with, whatever. Like, yo, I thought that was pretty amazing because I was looking for business owners. They was like, nah, I'm a scientist. I couldn't even pronounce what they said they did. Let's just leave that there. I'm still struggling with it. But anyway, we're gonna get into that conversation here in a minute. So I want y'all to think about that. So we're gonna take a few minutes and we're gonna get back. All right, we're gonna play some music. My man gonna get on these ones and twos. I want to hear. What are y'all thoughts? And what does it mean to stand on business? All right, we'll be right back.
Sly, stop being greedy. We need you to the booth. In your mouth.
That's what's up. Y'all enjoy. Drink up, eat up. We'll be back in a few minutes. We're going to get into it. Let's go.
Everyone loves to have a good time. Whether with family or friends, enjoyable moments create lifelong memories. How do you find out about the things you like? Social Bevy. It's the premier mobile solution connecting you to events and activities you love. One stop to get social, find your favorite events, purchase tickets, book your ride, make travel plans, and more. Got events? Social Bevy matches your events to an audience full of socialites looking for you. Simply create your own channel, connect to your target audience, launch promos, and start selling out your events with the help of a mobile app that does the work for you. Ready to get social? Social Bevy. Get social.
Miss LaToya Campbell, would you come to the stage, please? Let me help. Excuse me. Hey, wait, hold on.
He said, "Let me get you together." It's Dr. Campbell.
Listen now. Well, see. Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm happy to be here. invited me to join you.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, thank you for taking the time. Thank you for coming out. Appreciate that. You know what I mean? I think it's so dope. Another element of what we're doing here is networking and just meeting people. And I think it's always great when you get the chance to meet different people from different experiences. And when I spoke with you and you and Crystal,
Krista.
Krista,
Dr.
excuse
Hayward.
me. Oh, doctor, excuse me. All these doctors in the building, excuse me. That's what's up, man. I think that is amazing what you do. So tell me a little bit about what you do.
So, what can I say? So, by training, I'm a molecular biologist. And what that means is I basically spend time trying to understand the molecules that are within cells. Currently, I work in a space that's involved in cell therapy. So, when you hear that there's been a treatment for some sort of blood cancer where they take a person's cells out, they manipulate them, and then they put them back in, and then those cells are now able to fight off the cancer. So that's the space I work in.
Okay.
And so what I do is I help companies do that in a sterile environment. So if you can imagine, if I took your cells out, right, there's all sorts of stuff in the air. There's mold spores, right? There's bacteria. If you touch something, all this stuff, all of that stuff can't go back into your body after they've done what they need to do. So they need to operate in a sterile environment. So I work for a company that makes bioreactors, and that's what a bioreactor is for, is to help scientists and companies actually do that in a safe way and then be able to give those cells back to the patient so that they can recover.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. The first half of what you were saying, I thought you were speaking Spanish. Just be real. You know what I mean? I just want to be honest.
You had
Yeah.
the Duolingo out.
Yeah, I was struggling for a minute. So you brought it on home. You was like, I'm touching skin. And then I'm like, okay, I can relate. Got it. All right, cool. All right. So listen, I gotta ask you, like, so what got you into this space?
So I am one of those people who is actually living out their childhood dream. I always wanted to be a scientist when I was a little girl, and I became a scientist.
Okay.
That definitely looks different than what I thought it was going to look like, right? The typical path for an academic scientist is to start a lab at a university, to write grants and get funding for research. But as you go through that process, you start learning, I don't want to have to every single year justify my work, right, to some agency, and then they get to say, hey, let me dole out a couple dollars to you so you can keep going, and then the next year you have to do the same thing. And so for me, that's not the space that I wanted to be in. And what led me to this space was really what is new, what is cutting edge, what is impactful. The power of cell therapy is we're just scratching the surface, right? We have had people that have like really been given months to live. So these therapies are not first line therapies. Like when a person comes in, they have cancer, they give them chemotherapy, all this stuff. So that's the first line. When a person fails chemotherapy and then they come up with something else, they mix it with something else. Let's mix up two types of chemotherapy. They fail that. That's when you get to cell therapy because it's in an early phase.
Right.
And some of these people have been brought back. They've been given
Okay.
a few months to live, and now the power of this technology is people are living years now.
Wow. Wow.
It's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
amazing. And so that's what led me to want to be involved in the space, to say this is cutting edge, and there's not too many of us in that space.
Absolutely.
So let me be a
Absolutely.
face here. Let me grow in this space. Let me be an advocate for us. Let me be a reminder that we're also important in this technology and growing.
That's dope.
So for sure.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So then I gotta ask, transitioning. So what does it mean for you to stand on business?
It means that I'm gonna keep my word. It means to me that I'm going to make the best effort to do what I need to do in the way that I said I was going to do it. So for me, it's everything is about consistency and integrity, and being true to yourself. So authenticity, yeah, for sure.
That's what's up. Okay. All right, Dr. Campbell. Y'all give her a nice little round of applause.
Well, thank
Yeah, I
you
mean,
guys.
absolutely. Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. So wait, where is the? Oh, you know what? It's in my pocket. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm out of line. You know. So we gonna open this thing up, man, and whatever y'all want to discuss, again, ideally, I will tell you why I wanted to do this. I wanted to have a discussion because I think a lot of times that what we see on social media is just such a divide and creates such a separation, right? Men versus women, black versus white, blah, blah, blah. I wanted to do something because we were doing this on Juneteenth. I wanted to do something that was going to promote unity and talk about unity and connectivity and all of us coming together, right? So that's why the topic tonight is about culture, community, and unity, and just how can we bridge the gap, right? Holistically. Like, what does that look like for you? So standing on business is one of those things. I looked at it from a perspective of holding people accountable. I think a lot of times when we do business with people from different perspectives, a lot of us will just fail to reach out and respond or whatever when I want you to utilize my service, and then you engaging with somebody, and then for some reason or another, especially when it comes to black people, we just won't answer the phone, right? we just gonna stop communicating. They'll get the message, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like some of y'all in relationships, but that's not from here. That's not we're not doing that right now, okay? This is not that space.
Professional ghosting.
Yes, yeah, we good. That's what it is, professional ghosting. You see, you scientists putting the term to it. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Miss Charmaine. Let's do it.
You had a question from the bar? Yes. So my question was in reference to the cell therapy, the chemo. Doesn't it kill your cells as well?
Good question. So chemotherapy is excuse me. So chemotherapy is designed to take one aspect of what's happening in your cancer cells and exploit it. And in that way, they're trying to get more of the cancer cells to die before your actual healthy cells die. Right. So when you see things like people losing their hair and all this stuff, it's right. It's because the chemotherapy, it is toxic, right? That's its job. But what they're banking on is that it will kill off more of the cancer cells than your healthy cells, and then you'll be able to recover. Yeah.
All right.
I thought you were going to ask me.
We had another question. Oh, that's coming from Doc Spock back. Back. Don't think.
Hold on. Dr. Hayward, how you asking questions?
Oh, this one's great for you. So before this position, you were working in clinical trial representation or clinical trials. Maybe you could talk about representation in our community in clinical trials.
Excellent question. Excellent question. I swear I didn't ask her to say that. So correct. So before I finished my doctorate, I worked as a clinical research associate, and that is a person who monitors clinical trials. So why is that important? First, let me say this. So we are all familiar with the Tuskegee experiment, right? Where they were had a cure for syphilis and still let it progress in Black men, right? So those type of things led to the government creating standards, ethical standards for how to conduct a clinical trial. And part of that effort is now having people come in and review data. They have to come in and say, is this person suitable to be in this clinical trial? Are you giving them the treatment? Are you actually monitoring them? If you see any decline, are you actually treating them? So that's what that position is about. What I can say about representation and of really even women, as well as Black people in clinical trials, is that it's largely unheard of, right? We have a lot of going to these high-end medical centers, the Mayo Clinics of the world, the MD Andersons of the world, right? And we are not there, right? So our participation in clinical trials is really important because everything comes down to what they can study. And there can be differences in how we respond to treatment versus how other groups respond to treatment. So when I go and monitor these trials, we look at what is the ethnicity of the people participating, what is the race of the people participating. And oftentimes they're white people because they have access to resources. They're the ones that are going to the doctors. They're the, you know what I mean? They're finding out about these trials. They're actually, they have the money to fly to some of these custom centers to participate in these trials. So, I think our participation in clinical trials is becoming more important, and there are agencies that are starting to advocate, and there are starting to be standards for you have to include women, you have to include minorities, that sort of thing. But there's a mistrust there of us, right? Because of things like the Tuskegee experiment, right? Like that there's a mistrust of the medical field and institution when it comes to basically trying things out on people, right? But I do think that when we're getting to these stages, especially in things like cell therapy, we need to be there, right? Like if you know someone and they have cancer, like it's worth looking into what kind of trials are available, what kind of treatments are available to advance their life, because it will inform decisions down the line and create space for us to actually receive these treatments in the future.
Wow, that's pretty dope, man. Man.
I'm sorry. She asked me like a question that I care a lot about. And so if that was a little long-winded, I apologize.
No, it's good.
I know you had an agenda on culture and unity.
No, because I think the other thing that's largely in
Mic check. Okay. I think the other thing that's large, that plays a large part in our community is the lack of education. And it could be, when I say education, it could be regarding a particular topic or subject. So something like that, like we don't know, right? Like we y'all know when you're dealing with your people when it comes to being sick and all of that. Ain't nobody trying to go no doctor. Ain't nobody we ain't trying to do none of that, right?
Right.
So to be educated in it, I think, it has to start from somewhere. So if a conversation or a question like that is one that sparks that conversation and or continues that growth, I think it's all worthwhile. So it's all dope to me for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think part of our, having a healthy and happy and thriving community is health, right? Is putting your health first. It's going to the doctor. Black women, we have usually by the time breast cancer is detected in us, it's in a later stage. You know what I mean? Like, get your mammograms. You know what I mean? Like, participate in these regular health screenings and all of these sort of things. It can take a lot of time, but as I'm getting older, I'm like, your health is it. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything.
That's what's up. You're absolutely right. And we ain't no good nobody. That's it. Absolutely. Well, thank you, Dr. Campbell.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Appreciate y'all. Absolutely, man.
Okay.
Absolutely. Give her a round of
Thank you
applause,
so
y'all.
much.
Absolutely. Let's jump into some other stuff. Like, so right now, taking that into account, standing on business, man. I want to jump into another industry. We dealt with some healthcare. Let's talk a little bit about this entertainment industry. I don't know if y'all watched the BET Awards. Anybody? No? I don't watch TV. Yes. All right now. One of the things that they was talking about with the BET Awards, y'all tell me if they were standing on business. There was a huge question around the lack of men that were involved or on the show. I would love to hear y'all thoughts and take on that. What are y'all thoughts? Anybody?
I think it was very empowering for it to be like an all women performance type of thing.
You do? Okay, well, go ahead. Let's get the mic. Let's go ahead. Pass the mic. Let's get it. Let's get it. Go ahead and tell us your name. Say your name. Say your name. Say my name. Say my name.
So my name is Consuela, and I don't think it was a good look, right? Because they're pushing this narrative, and it's a narrative of emasculation, right? So I don't think that was a good look. I didn't personally watch it, but that's the theme, right? And the theme is to keep us being Black females and Black males, on the defense. And they want us to hate each other, right? Because they've attacked the nuclear family. And if you can attack that, then you attack the integrity of Black people. And that's just my take.
Powerful. Absolutely. Absolutely. Anybody else got any thoughts? Because I wholeheartedly agree. And the only reason I agree with that is because I feel like the most minimalized individual in our society is a Black man, in every aspect. And I can speak from it from a tech aspect. So I'm in the tech industry. Obviously, I got an app that we're launching, right? And it's just no knock on women or anything like that. I'm all about women empowerment, right? I'm all about women growth and all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm also a Black man. And one of the things that bothers me that I see, typically being in the tech space, is that you seeing like there's this rise of support for Black women, which is great. Listen, but I'm standing over there on the sidelines like, what about us? Right? Like we already competing against the mainstream folks, the white community, those who are astute, what have you. Give her the mic over there. And for me, just in my experience, it's like, man, I know my sisters are doing their thing, and I know there's the statistics for in support of them and the lack of support and the lack of opportunity. But I also know there's a lot of lack of opportunity for Black men. And I don't see and I'm gonna give y'all this. What I applaud Black women with, y'all get together like nobody's business. Y'all support each other like nobody's business. Y'all do the women empowerment thing, and y'all get together and cheerlead. And bros, we don't do that, right? And I think I don't know if it's the men thing or whatever, but I do notice that in the industry and in business, or just inside society as a whole, to your point, I just feel like the Black man is the one who's always being diminished and or forgotten about. Go ahead. Well, we're gonna start here, and I saw a hand. I can't really see y'all. These lines, but go ahead.
I agree with both ladies, because for so many years we were second and third class citizens. So yes, it's our time. I do feel like Black men are diminished since slavery. You guys have been emasculated, but at the same time, it's like there's no rhyme or reason, because we deserve to be where we are today, because we never were congratulated, were appreciated, were recognized for any of the sacrifices we made, and for the fact that you guys are here because of us women. A lot of the, no pun intended, but a lot of the white people, doctors and lawyers and presidents, are where they are because of us breastfeeding them, because of us being their nanny. So I feel like we ought to be appreciated. But at the same time, I feel like it might be a little too much. But you guys have had your turn, and I feel like it's our time to shine.
That's interesting. I would like to know when we had our turn.
Well, I feel like
When that happened.
I feel like when it comes to a Black woman and a Black man, a Black man is going to come first. No.
I don't agree with
I
that.
feel like that.
You do? Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
All right. Wait. Hold on, y'all. Wait. This is
I
dope.
work in corporate America.
This is dope.
And I'm actually from California. So now that I'm living in a conservative
Okay.
state,
I have been able to see the difference that is made between a black man and a black woman.
Okay.
Not just a man and a woman, but a black man and a black woman. And sometimes it comes down to whether you went to TSU and I went to Texas Women's.
I
You know,
agree.
so I've experienced it both hands, coming from a liberal state where everybody is family.
Okay.
And then coming here where we don't even like our own people.
Interesting. So I think that's an interesting point. Like, you know what I mean? You know, everybody we all have these unique journeys, these unique perspectives that we've been able to gain along the way. So it gives us a unique ideology of whatever we might have. And all of us may not agree. And guess what? It's okay. It's okay, but it's all right for us to talk about it and share it, right? And to share those dialogues, because I do agree with her to a point. One of the things that I do know, and I'm just being real, the one thing that I do know is that I think when it comes to being a black man, I think it comes to the level of status of that black man as well. So, like for me, when I say that, this is no knock on anybody, right? But because of my experience as a pro football player, when I go talk to Tom at CMO or such and such, they're gonna look at me differently than they would Eric, who comes in off the joint, right? And it gives me a little bit of a higher level of, you know what I mean? And that's just real. It just is what it is. So I do understand what you're saying from that perspective. So, but go ahead, sis.
So I'm trying to do my best to organize my thoughts. I have so many things to say. Overall, I definitely agree with this young lady's point of view of stating that both perspectives can be true at the same time. But I think it's important for us to check our own biases when we have these types of conversations, because when you're talking about a marginalized group, I think you do us as a community a disservice when you say, what about us? It's not completely wrong to say it's our time right now, because for a very long time we had not been supported or, put on a pedestal or appreciated. So what's wrong with seeing this one time, once in a blue moon, black women being up there on the stage supporting black men while we're supporting ourselves, being visual, we're still supporting a black man. So how is that detrimental? Like, I think it's counterproductive for us to have these types of conversations. What about us? It sounds akin to reverse racism, and it's counterproductive. So I think we really need to check our own selves when we have these conversations, because two things can be true at the same time. But don't say, what about us?
Interesting. Absolutely. Was there somebody else? I can't see.
I just want to say my opinion is probably going to be a bit different than most, but I can say that from working in an HR position, being an educated Black woman, there's been a trade-off, okay? We don't have to admit to it. We don't have to agree with it. But there has been this trade-off. I've been in meetings where I've literally been told, we need diversity, but we don't need certain kinds of Black men. And by certain kinds of Black men, they mean the intimidating Black men, okay? They don't want to see it in the office. It triggers people, Black women included, okay? So I think there has been a trade-off in corporate America for us versus them. So it's going to be a continual conversation, right? They don't like us. They don't, but we're less intimidating, right? I don't agree with that. All good. And then when we even take it back to the home front, we still have to consider the fact that a lot of women are in a masculine headspace. And they're in a masculine headspace because they've had to survive, and they're in survival mode, which means you have a masculine mind state. So when you think about this conversation, to me, respectfully, it comes across as saying, they don't matter, we do. And that's all well and good, but in the same breath, you can't then ask for a Black man to come into your home, be fathers to your children that are not theirs, and things like that, because that's a deeper conversation, right? But it's all inclusive. It all matters. And that's why the trade-off has existed. That's why the trade-off was established. It was established to break up the nuclear family. And if you don't think it's impactful, that's okay. But if you look at the residual rates in prison, it's because of our Black boys not having the fathers in the home. I'm not saying that Black women can't do it. You can do it, girl. Black girl rock. I get it. But there's still a need for the presence of a Black man, respectfully.
Sorry. I think a lot of us suffer from internalized misogyny. We really need to do some introspection. There is nothing wrong with that. First of all, I agree wholeheartedly. There has been like this agenda to break up the Black community. There has been like so much, like even from the government political level, to break up the Black community. But at what point do you say, all right, we know this already. What do we do right now? What do we do today? What do we do tomorrow? What do we do 2 years from now? Like how long are we going to have this conversation about what happened 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago? We really need to worry about today and tomorrow and what we want that to look like. So although I agree there is a subset, we have lots of issues within our community as far as like the going back and forth between the men and the woman and their gender roles. And Black women had to be strong for a reason, and it wasn't because we wanted to. So at what point do Black men say, that's all that, let me do what I'm supposed to do for me, for my family, for my children, for my community, for myself? That's all I have to say.
Man, what my bruh said in here? Like, no, go ahead. So I will. So to that point, I wanted to say this. So for me, and anything that we do have to understand from where we come from in order to understand where we can go. So yes, I understand how long are we gonna have that conversation? But I think in order that conversation has to be had, it has to be fully understood. We have to fully nurture and or take that in order to help us go to the next step. Like I think we be dismissing ourselves or dismissing everything if we were just to say, you know what, hey, today is just this, and I get it, without understanding what's going on, what's happened, and what we've been through. So I think you're right. Like we do need to say at some point, but I think to be honest with y'all, just be clear. I don't think there's a definitive answer to any of this. Just be real with you. It's so broad. It's such a broad stroke, such a broad paintbrush. There is no definitive answer. I'm just gonna be 1,000 with y'all, like that, in my honest opinion. So there's a lot of different things. There's a lot of different variables. There's a lot of different things that can come into the equation in all of this. But I do think it is hugely important for us to understand what the plight has been and what we've been through. What's happened, what could happen, what needs to change. Because in order to change, we need to know why we need to change, in my opinion. But go ahead, I'm sorry, sis. Go ahead in the back.
I think that it paints Black women in a hyper-masculine perspective. Just because, yes, Black women, they have been looking for their kudos for a long time. And yes, we do deserve them, but that does not take away from the role of a Black man in our community. And I feel like with the perspective that the show gave off this year of is like Black men are not, well, men period, are not needed. And for Black women to flourish in their femininity, you need a Black man to stand up and take their role. And it's not supposed to be a what about me situation, or where's my white hat at, or anything like that, because we play very different roles, and that's key in being able to show up as a whole. And that's all I have to say.
Interesting. Where my? I know it. Where my bros at? Did not one of them have book?
I stand on business.
No, but just to agree with everyone, opinion is valid. Because we all came through different walks of life. So when that being said, you have to understand, like, mama came from Cali, you know what I'm saying? But she come to Texas. Texas is the South, baby. They different. We were different. I'm from Louisiana. I'm born in DC, raised in Louisiana, Texas now. So I'm a chocolate city. So I came to Texas and I feel what you feel. And I'm like, oh my God, these people are horrible. But it's just upbringings, piggyback on mama right here with the men and what they're doing. A man know what he needs to do. I mean, if he don't know, if he needs the help, they have people out there to help. But also, as a man, pride is one of those things that those men are not going to take help from anybody or everybody. That's one thing I have learned just in my tenure. I've been through almost 3 decades, and I'm young. So I've saw the old, the young, a little bit of both. When it comes to just growing, when it comes to the whole BET Awards, it was a lot. I mean, you gotta look at it. Tiana Taylor, she do her thing, of course. I mean, but that's what women are now these days. A lot of women are lost in a sense of, I don't want a man, but I want a man. I want a woman, but I don't need that woman, but I'm gonna play with her. It's just what we are and what we are seeing, what we are adapting to, what we are looking and listening to is just what we are now. So if you don't have the balls to hold it down for yourself and know what you got to do, make sure that God is first at the end of the day, you're never going to get anywhere. I mean, it doesn't matter how you look at it, how we play it. I mean, I look like I don't even do anything, but I take abuse and neglect calls every day. From children to adults to anybody. I'm taking people kids, I'm taking people parents. And that's my little help, per se, of what I can do. But me being a voice for somebody else, I know all these ladies and men up in here are voices for somebody else. So I love hearing all these conversations currently right now as well. But it's really good. But we also have to be mindful. Times are different. What was good for you ain't gonna be good for the next person. What was good for that family ain't gonna be good for that family or that person. Everybody walks of life are different. Everybody upbringings are different. Grandma is not the backbone no more. It's cousin now. It's just everything is different now. So if you have all these lovely business people and educated people in here right now, if y'all mind frames are what it is, y'all are the voice now. Y'all are the ones that we have to look up to. Y'all the ones that we need. So all y'all points are very valid, very valid. I love it. But I just have to say, I mean, we grown. We ain't no, oh, I feel or I think. I know. We know what it is. We know that these people in the corporate do not like intimidating black folks as women and men. We know that these people are overalizing and sexualizing these females on BET Awards. We know this. This is just what we in. So we shit off and get off the pot. That's where we at.
All right, well said. We can't hear. We need to.
Oh no, I'm just saying, like she was saying.
Record this, y'all.
I'm sorry, she was saying that us women are over sexualizing ourselves, and I'm like, that's because of a lot of women are hurt. You can look at it. Tiana Taylor, for instance, we'll just take her. She is going through a top-notch divorce with an NBA player, XYZ. Got these beautiful kids. People do things because it's not about attention. It's just I need to get that love that I was not getting.
See, y'all bringing up points that I ain't want to go there.
I'm sorry. I'm just 35.
No, it's good. No, it's good because I mean the conversation evolves, right? Well, let me ask you this. So I understand that may be one piece of it. Like we said, to me, it paints. There's a broader stroke, right? When I hear we're over sexualizing ourselves, Keke Palmer, y'all remember she went out and went.
That's my fellow Virgo sister. I'm gonna tell you now with Keke.
Well, I'm
Keke
just
was
saying.
living her best life.
She went. Okay.
She went to a concert. She enjoyed herself. She was not super disrespectful in a sense. Now her outfit it could be questionable, but she's grown. She's a grown woman. She's an entertainer. She's an actress.
Right.
She's enjoying herself. Now, if you would have saw something of him grabbing all up on her breasts and all that extra, I can see. But he didn't do all those extra things. He's a performer.
Okay,
She's a
so
performer.
then to your point though, you guys just said we're over sexualizing ourselves.
Over sexualizing is and like
But
T
then,
ain't a T.
hold on, but then you justify those actions. You can't do that to
So
me.
in regards to
if we gonna stay consistent, let's stay consistent, right?
Touche.
Let me say this: when it comes to Keke Palmer in that situation, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
as a man, first of all, if that was my lady, ain't no way in hell she leaving the house like that without me. Let's just be clear, right? Now I get it. You are, she had just had a baby, and here's my point that I tell everybody when it comes to this subject. My issue with the whole thing is that you saying she living her best life, but at the time she's a mother. So at some point, you are representing something other than yourself. It's not about Keke, the individual woman, no more. Because if her child was of age, where her child was going to school, and she went out like that and conducted herself, and now in this age of social media, these kids got more access to technology than we ever had. And they go to school, and now her son, daughter got to live with, boy, your mama was fine as hell at that joint last night. He had her ass out. Like, how are you going to feel as a mother? That's all that I'm saying. I'm all about women feeling empowered to be sexy and all of that. But I think at some point, you got to realize that it ain't about just you, right? Go have your moment, but don't jeopardize and understand that you are carrying something bigger than yourself along with you. Like, I learned that from playing sports. I realized that, you know what, as an athlete, while I might want to go out here and cut up or whatever, at the end of the day, my last name carries a burden. So my family, if I went out here and got in trouble or whatever, my mama got to deal with that. My kids got to deal with that. Right. So I value that. So I would never put myself in. I know that, it may be different for women, but I just think that at some point, celebrity or not,
it's not different.
You know what I mean?
It's not different.
You representing something that's bigger than yourself. So at what point does that come into effect?
Again, it falls on self. Again, Keke made her decision to do what she chose to do. Same as anybody else who do what they want to do. Same for you. You got the last name. You don't want to go out there and step. That's your choice of making that last name. Keke has a last name. When she did what she did, what she did got bigger. Everything is calculated 9 times out of 10. Your moves were calculated not to go outside because you didn't want to mess up. So that's just how we are. We are living in that world. Keke did that. I'm not saying that she could have did. I say she living her best life. She enjoying life. We don't know what's going on at home. We don't know. So everybody's story is different. So when we see these things or see people living their best life and smiling and X, Y, and Z, who are we to judge? Wish them well and keep it pushing.
So talking about Keke, I will say this. I did not see her do anything with Usher that she had not done on stage. So what's the difference between doing it with Usher doing a concert or doing it with a dancer that has been hired and the choreography has been strategically done so she puts on a good show, as well as Beyonce and pretty much all the other entertainers that we know that are parents. We pay money. We are literally their livelihood. We pay money to see them perform. We buy the records or whatever the case may be. And what they do on stage is what they do. So what's the difference between doing it on stage with a dancer and doing it with Usher out with your girls and having fun? And as for her dress, I've seen Keke on social media with her man. So what's the difference, and why are we judging her for being the entertainer that we made her, and for Kiki that we made her since she was a little girl? 5 years old, thank you, tonight.
So, first of all, I didn't say nothing about her dancing with Usher. I'm not tripping on that. That's just number one. Like I didn't say. I just said, for me, the outfit. Listen, I'm old school, so excuse me, but if she was mine, ain't no way. It's just not happening, bro. We ain't doing that. Nah, I don't give a damn. Like Beyonce done wear them outfits on the stage, and I get it when they're performing. That's a performance outfit versus you out here enjoying the concert. Like I don't know. I just feel like that's a different animal, right? She ain't working. She ain't working. She ain't on the clock. She ain't getting paid. Listen. She could have booked the job that night. Damn, a time at her, Gina. We not doing it. Like, listen. I'ma stand on business because we ain't doing that, right? No.
Can I say something? Can I say something here? First of all, I think there is a complete and total difference between what celebrities are doing and what regular people are doing. I'm not Beyonce, I'm not Keke Palmer. We ain't none of that. We not known for our bodies. We not known as performers. So whatever Keke Palmer is doing or Beyonce is doing, that's their business. What I will say is that something that I notice is that distinction is something that is getting lost. Right? So to me, the music of today, I grew up on Lil' Kim, right? Hardcore. Listen, go put on Lil' Kim.
She wasn't nobody old lady, though.
Listen, let me tell you something. Megan ain't said nothing worse than Lil' Kim, I guarantee you.
Absolutely right.
And I grew up listening to Lil' Kim, but I will tell you this. Yes, I am a doctor, and I grew up listening to Lil' Kim. But let me tell you this. I couldn't listen to Lil' Kim in front of my mom.
Bro.
My mom would tell. She was so instrumental in having me understand that this is music and not real life, right? So to me, when I hear, I love me some Megan Thee Stallion. I love me some Cardi B. And I think it's ridiculous when I encounter people that think that because you like a certain type of music, that is now some sort of lifestyle standard. No, I don't twerk at work, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, nobody looking. So for me, the distinction is really not, what's happening in the music and stuff. It's really, are the adults in your life, are your parents, your mom, your dad, are they teaching you that there is a distinction between what Keke Palmer is doing and what you doing? You don't got no fans, right? Like you, right? You gotta get a job. You know what I'm saying? Like, but for me, that is what always gets lost in this conversation. People just start going crazy about celebrities. You're not a celebrity.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, you know what? This has been dope, y'all. Man, I appreciate y'all. I mean, we ain't gonna get into this all night, but because this opens up so many more conversations, and I know we'll probably be in here all night, right? But I ain't trying to take up y'all night. I want to thank y'all for coming out, for being a part of the combos and conversations, cocktails. Excuse me. Man, this has been awesome. Tell a friend. If you're not, please join the Houston Eat and Meet group. We'd love to have y'all be a part of that because we're going to do another one where we're going to continue the conversation. I think this is really dope. We're going to have some more experiences. So, y'all, stay tuned. Get some more drinks. Hang out a little bit. And we're going to have a good time, man. Thank y'all again. Again, my name is Al Roundtree. I want to thank my crew, all my fans, my man Alfonso Roundtree III. My son is in here as well. He was the one who was supposed to greet y'all at the car. I had to get on him about it. I hope he was nice. If he wasn't a gentleman, let me know, because he got an ass whooping coming. I'm just going to tell you right now. Like, no, that's my man though. Like, so I appreciate y'all for coming out, man.
You know we're down with what you like.
And thank y'all. I want to thank everybody for having a good time. Let's go ahead, DJ. Let's go ahead. Huh?
Can I say one last comment?
Oh, somebody want to say something?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see. I'm
sorry.
I can't see up here. I'm sorry. I can't see.
That's why we celebrate ourselves like we do.
You know what? I can't. You know what? Listen, man. I'm gonna go outside.
So I'm gonna play off of what Dr. Campbell was saying earlier, in that my parents were married for 52 years, and I grew up in a two-parent household, and my siblings and I were always encouraged to be whatever we wanted. And that could be doctors, lawyers, scientists, and whatever. And it didn't matter what our sexes were when we were growing up as a kid. And I think the problem now is that the programming that men are operating on is still that women are the support system in the household, and that the men are the primary breadwinners or have to be the dominant spouse. And there are women who grew up with dreams and aspirations, and they're asking women to give up those dreams and aspirations for their dreams instead of working as a partnership. And my parents were not the best partnership. But they understood that they were good at different things. My dad was not good at managing finances. My mom paid all the bills. She managed the money. She had all the bank accounts. My dad would say before he passed away, like, I have no idea how much money we have, because that was her forte. And I think that we need a well-rounded group of males who understand that they may just have a different skill set, and they don't always have to fit the traditional paradigm that's set out there for them.
Man, ain't nobody clap. Yo, listen, man. Listen, man. No. I'm just playing. But listen, that conversation, that's such a deep conversation, right? That opens up so many things. To me, that shows an evolution of the times, right? And so that's basically what you're speaking to. The relationships have evolved, right? The roles in the relationship have evolved. So
But not so much that a woman earn more and a man earn less. We keep respecting the household.
what you mean keep respect?
We're not there yet. Let's be real. And that's why this dynamic is so thought provoking and skewed, right? Because if I make more, if I weren't from a two-parent household in your instance, right? I'm going to take a dominant position in that household.
What? Who?
Why?
Who? What?
Well, no, I mean, I'm saying this because that's what we see in the media right now. We see it everywhere, right?
Okay.
We see a lot of women who take on this masculine position. And I say
That's true.
masculine only because I understand we are in a great position right now. We're making money. We're in our bag. I get it. I'm in mine too. But in my household, the bag doesn't matter, right? My husband makes sure the bag doesn't matter. The respect factor is that he's the head of that house. I lead him, period, right? If you're not born or reared into a situation that has the dynamic as the doctors, you don't appreciate a man's lead. And that's the problem a lot of us have right now. And I mean us by Black women, the diaspora, right? We don't have that. We have a lot of strong Black women, but we don't have the male roles.
See, I done told y'all. I already knew which is so funny, right? Like the fact that I started out. What did I say we was gonna talk about? Culture, community, and unity.
In unity.
And here we are. Not saying that we ain't been divided. I'm just joking. Please.
No, you
don't
brought
mind
up the
me.
BET Awards and then it went left.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm older than some of y'all, and some of y'all my age. I grew up in a time when there was blood and cuz, and so those men went to jail and I went to school. So what did that mean? If I went to school and you went to jail, that separated us tremendously. The education gap, what you learned in incarceration, I went to corporate America. So I got a seat at a table that they will never, ever comprehend. So that meant children got to be educated and they got scholarships and they got opportunities that they never got because their daddies were in jail. So then you have this beautiful woman not only leading the pack, she's defining the pack. She's not only masculine, but she's feminine, and she's waiting. She's waiting for her man to get out of jail. She's waiting to be feminine for him. But she can't. Because when he get out of jail, I hate to say it, but he a little bitch. Insecure, and he mad at her for everything she built. His fault. Now, don't get me wrong. You got some men that didn't even go that route. They became amazing men, dominating men. And it breaks my heart when I see any of those men on the side of the road in handcuffs, bowing down to some man. And they don't even know that that man that they're bowing down to is a lieutenant in the military, is an officer of some kind, is a force beyond nature. He ain't no joke. So yes, I understand when you say, I want some respect. But what these women were trying to say is, I'll give you a respect, but baby, put some respect on my name before you ask for some respect. That's what they're saying. There's some bad women that came before them, and they didn't even have the energy or the process to do what's next. They didn't know. And this is what they did. These are some bad ass women in this room. So when you tell me like where my brother's at, we're asking the same damn thing. Because we're having a conversation. We always have these conversations. So when people ask me who my soulmate is, I'll tell them in a minute, it's my best friend. That's right. Because this woman right here, she will not only ride for me, but motherfucker, she'll die for me. And I can't say that about any motherfucking man.
All right.
So,
Hey, Vic, you doing a little bit too much chili. You doing a little bit too much right now, bro. Just be clear. You know what I mean? So listen. I applaud that, and for real, on some real stuff. That's why I love and admire women from that perspective. Like y'all go for each other. Like dudes, we'll have to do it for ourselves and figure out on our own. Right. We don't have that level of support and or a system that supports a guy's trying to make it, trying to do whatever. So, a big shout out to y'all, man, for y'all doing it. You're absolutely right. However, in all of that, what I'm going to say is this: at the end of I'm old school in nature, so while a woman can have and be whomever she is, and be as strong and as beautiful and be in her bag, I'm gonna be a man. And if I can't be a man, then it's like I don't need to be around. And it's not even about being financially blah blah blah, whatever. I need to be a man in my relationship and in my involvement in this person's life. So if you're gonna take that from me, then we ain't nothing to even talk about.
But these days, you don't have to take nothing from anybody. The man wants to be the bitch.
See, y'all listen now. I can't do nothing. Wait. I can't listen. Let me tell you. Wait.
All men don't like you.
Listen, let me tell you something, man. I get that. I get it. I get it. Mike, please. Listen, I get it.
That was really extreme. Okay. But what I would like to say is I agree with you. We want to be feminine. We want our leaders. We want that strong masculine energy around us. We want that dominant. We want.
Listen, we record this.
We in our very inner core to our soul, we desire that strong masculine energy. We do desire it. But what she's saying is, we've already acknowledged times are a little different. Let me finish my point. Let me finish my point. It's not about the dollar amount. It's the energy, it's the mind that's making the money or not making the money. But the problem is, he could make it or not make it. What his definition of what being a man is going to interfere with y'all's relationship dynamic. If he's extremely insecure, if he does not know what being a man is, he's going to make your life a living hell, regardless of how much money he's making. That is what needs to change. What is this man's definition of what being a man is? And I can't define that for him. I just know how it makes me feel when I'm around him. I've been married before. I was a breadwinner in my relationship. I went to school. I worked full time. My husband finished his degree. Hell, because I was making all the damn money in the house. I wasn't shitting on him. Excuse my language, you guys. I'm so sorry. I never, and you could ask him this, I never made him feel inferior. He was dealing with his own internal conflicts. And a lot of men really need to wake up and say, I am a little crazy. I need to get my stuff together. I did not have positive role models in my life. I don't know what it looks like to be a husband. I don't know what it looks like to be a man. I don't know what it looks like to be an adult. And they need to acknowledge that, because it's hard for you to say, you making me feel like less of a man. And I'm like, how? You can't even explain it.
Again,
Therapy.
Listen, y'all. Before we go down this goddamn, I'm saying, come on, y'all.
Just one little thought.
Okay, all right. So listen, we're gonna do this, please. All right, please. I would love for y'all to continue this conversation. All right. Not outside. I ain't saying listen, it's just not a you ain't gotta go home, but you gotta get the hell out of here conversation. It's not that. But we're gonna wrap it up after this. All right. And I would love for you guys to join us for the next one. Okay. And we'll continue this conversation. Golly, okay, I get that. Oh, so join Houston Eating Meat if y'all have it on Facebook. Join Houston Eating Meat, and please let all the girls know. Houston Eating Meat. Let all the guys know on there. Like, yo, we were in the building where y'all was at. I don't know where they at, but anyway, we'll do that. So go do this last one, and then we're just gonna have some drinks and hang out. Y'all co-mingle, do your thing. Go ahead.
So I just want to say masculine energy is not the same thing as controlling and dominant. You can have a lot of masculine energy, and like this young woman was saying, role modeling positive relationships is really important. I have a older brother, and he is a fantastic husband. He has been put through like so much stuff. He and his wife have had so much stress. They have 2 grown kids. They put them through college, even when they weren't making a lot of money. And he just is like ride or die. And then I don't see other men out there that have the perspective on relationships and support of their woman that he has. And
have 52 years of marriage. That matters,
yeah.
Right?
Well, listen, I appreciate y'all. I know, like I said, bro, this can open up a web of different conversations. I appreciate y'all. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Please do. I want y'all to have some more drinks, eat some more. Thank you so much for coming out. Combos and Cocktails. We will be doing this again. Please follow us on Houston Eat and Meet the group. All right. If not, follow Social Bevy. Also follow Empire State Jazz Cafe on Instagram. All right. Appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you.